Hi, I'm Chris Maxa. I'm with the Kite Loft, and today we're going to learn how to fly a stunt kite. In this segment, we're going to go through our pre-launch setup and getting the kite and kite line prepared to fly. We've already learned which kite we would like. We've picked out the perfect kite. We've determined which one would be best for our needs, for our specific situations, which wind we have, and where we would like to fly. Today, we're going to be flying here at the beach. We have a beautiful offshore breeze. It's blowing about 14 miles an hour. Perfect kiting weather. First thing we're going to want to do is to get the kite, once we've assembled it and set it up, and you learned where all the parts were, and you learned what each function of the kite is, we're going to take our kite line and our kite and get it prepared to fly. This is done by first allowing your kite to just rest on its back. Here at the beach, we have the luxury of kicking sand on it. If you're at a flying field with grass or on a open park, don't worry about it. The kite's not going anywhere. You're close enough that you can grab it. We're going to take our kite line, which is on our blue winder here. And you're going to unwrap it from the elastic band, which holds it together. On the kite winder, we have two sets of line. They're both parallel, equal, of the same length and thickness. What you do is you take your kite flying straps, you leave them downwind where you're going to be actually doing the flying, and we're going to walk our kite up, we're going to walk our kite downwind to where we're going to be flying and launching the stunt kite. Again, I like to kick a little bit of sand on the lines so that they're not going to fly away. What I like to do is to assemble the kite, have the winder, which is wound like a boat cleat. It's a figure 8 pattern on the winder. Take our kite. I like to grab it by the nose. It allows the wind to shear off of the kite, and it creates less difficulty in maneuvering it and handling it. We're going to take our winder, and with our left hand, pull the line as we walk downwind. Remember to allow the line to become untangled and to flow freely off of your winder. You're going to be allowing the entire length of kite line to fly off of the winder. This is very different than a single line kite where you can allow as much or as little line to fly off the spool as you like. In stunt kite flying, you need to have the entire length of line removed. Okay, now that we've gotten to the end of our line, we're going to notice we have two loops to attach to our two toe points on our bridle of our stunt kite. You're going to take the winder. Hopefully you have a pair of pants that have pockets. You can stick it in your pockets or simply stick it in your belt loop, and that's fine. You're going to be keeping your winder in your pocket until later. We don't need it till we're done. What you want to do is you want to allow the kite to flop backwards onto its back as the wind comes down and over it. Here at the beach, we have a nice luxury of kicking a little bit of sand on it to allow it to stay put. If you're at a park or at a field, don't worry about it. The kite will be just fine with you sitting here on it. What we're going to do next is we're going to create a lark's head knot to attach it to our bridle of our kite. This is a very simple knot. It's done by simply taking your thumb and your forefinger, putting it through the loop of your stunt line, pinching around the outsides of the loop, and then tightening. What this does is this creates a knot that tightens upon itself and actually gets stronger the tighter it pulls. We take the loop of our lark's head knot and we attach it to the toe point on our bridle. Simply slide it over the top of the knot and allow the knot to tighten. You're going to repeat this process with the other one. Again, finger and thumb through the loop, pinch around the outside, and put your lark's head right on top of the toe point of the bridle. You want to make sure that both knots are tight, even, clean. Again, your kite enjoys being symmetrical, nice and neat, assembled correctly. What I like to do at this point is to grab both stunt kite lines keep them separated, and walk back to where I'm going to be doing my flying. Any twists in the line, don't worry about it. They're going to work themselves out as you walk towards your kite. All the while, keeping one of each line in each hand. This will allow the line to remain separate, and you're going to want to grab both handles, take a look back at your kite line and your kite, and you want to make sure that your two flying lines are parallel and equal distance apart back towards the kite. It's almost going to be reminiscent of a pair of train tracks running from you, the flyer, down towards your kite. Everything looks good from here. That concludes the pre-launch setup and getting the kite ready to fly. Next segment, we're going to work on learning the wind window.